Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Saturday, which means we've got a map and an asset, and today's map would fall into a category that most of this week's map seems to have fallen into. It's kind of been my first map week. Now, it isn't, but you know what's coming up very shortly. Now, if you missed it last night, speaking of shortly last night, we had the second episode of my new Let's Play, The Island. Do check that one out. And if you missed it last Sunday, we had the first episode of the 15,000 Q&A for celebrating 15,000 subscribers. So do check that one out as well. Anyway, back to important things. We've got a very nice map today, and I mean very nice considering that.
It's my first map.
And even not considering that. Considering it's 100% vanilla, well, it really is very nicely done indeed. One or two minor grumbles, but we do like a minor grumble, don't we? We also like a little game of BonBonB Bingo. Link is in the description. And of course, I like, when you play, the daily reminder. So let's all get on board, shall we? That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Attemptarea by Demis, or Demis. I'm going with Demis. And Attemptarea, I think, is an amazing name. I mean, attempt on the map. The thumbnail is 100% vanilla, the vanilla theme there, but we'll talk about the theme in a moment. There's a start square, looks absolutely spot on. What more do you want there? The terrain heights, all buildable space in the middle of the map, and then as you go away, get slightly more and more challenging. Absolutely beautiful. The resources, a little bit light and wispy, but a little bit more would be nice. Just a little bit here and there. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, we've got a wide range of fishes as well. Going well so far. Now, over to the workshop. What do we need? Well, no DLCs required today. We are using the realistic 1.4.5 European theme as recommended, but you don't need that one. The map will be fine without it. And we'll be using, of course, the realistic 1.2 LUT. Apparently inspiration is from Dutch landscapes, but I think they've used a lot of creativity. And I would say a height map from somewhere. I kind of recognise it. I thought it might have actually been one of the better vanilla height maps from the base game. Something like the Frozenshire, possibly the Snowfall. It's not, but I kind of recognise this height map. If anybody else recognises it, let me know, because I am curious to where it's come from. I'm not suggesting it's been stolen. I'm really not. But I just recognise it. It's niggling me. I want to know where I'm spotting this from. Anyway, we follow the highways and the rail simultaneously. The rail at this end of the map is fine. We are, remember, looking at a map that was based for the vanilla game. So outside of the 25 tiles, anything you might be grumbling about doesn't really matter quite so much. Sirens coming this way. Those of you playing BonBonB Bingo and want to check off some sirens. There you go, police car right there. And I don't know if you can hear that one. I never know if you... Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Anyway, that's your start square intersection. That then goes down to the... there's a big old bridge down there. A very nice vanilla, big old bridge. And it just like frames the entrance into the start area. Very nicely done indeed. And all told, the standards are very nicely done indeed. There are one or two things like the downward ramp off the elevated highway there could have been a little bit smoother. If we're talking about difference between good and amazing. Okay, what you're seeing here is on the whole good, quite often very good. One or two places questionable, as you'll see very shortly. We're going to get to an intersection which I would say is questionable. It's not bad. There's nothing really to complain about. You're talking vanilla rules. This was vanilla original base game. We'd be screaming at how good this was. Anyway, this intersection here, we've got two options. We can head off to the hills, or we can head off around the bay. I think we should just go into the hills because we haven't been up into the hills. Now, this is the bit. This is questionable for me. I don't know so much here. I think these ramps need to be elongated. I mean, stretched out a lot further to make it a lot smoother, maybe from all the way up there. But there is one extra thing that can be done to make this look a lot more polished than it does, because that's a bit of a tight turn to get that elevation up, and then to give vision of the traffic coming over your shoulder as you drive on in. But what I would suggest is dropping the whole... Does this need to be this elevated here? We could drop the elevation of that and start ramping down from, well, this side of the river. And it would be absolutely fine. And then there wouldn't be any problems with those ramps at all. Got a little bit of... Oh, the glory hole. Haven't seen the Park Life glory hole for a while. Glory, glory, glory hole. But one thing we have seen quite regularly, of course, those of you playing BonBonB Bingo today, it's everybody's favourite factory. And then back to the highways. Into the mountains, or hills. I know it's inspired, shall we say, inspired by the Dutch landscape. Yeah, okay. Let's say it being inspired by one thing doesn't mean it has to look like it. It has to say, this is what got me going, and then I worked out from there. It's a map with quite a lot of interesting little bits of detailing here and there and there and here. Nothing that's going to blow you away to the level where you're going to say this is the best. Oh, hang on, the rail here. We're coming down out of the hills. Remember, out of the 25 tiles doesn't matter so much because nobody is ever going to see it playing within the 25 tiles. But those of you that want to play the 81 tile mod, this is the rail out in the hills. But yeah, the detailing is... we're not talking next level, but there's a lot of interesting detailing, and there's one or two bits that I really like a lot, which we will of course get to, because if I like it a lot, I want to show it to you and say this is a bit that I really like a lot. It's the whole point of this show, you know, not just to go, oh look, there's a tree on the rail here. We've got this branch line that comes off here, and we'll head on down to a little turnabout. And I wouldn't normally get too excited about a turnabout, but this one, I don't know, I quite like the way it's been done with the old one-way lines there. I often see that. It is a bit tight for realism. I mean, getting a train to circle that and go back in real life would be a bit on the struggly side. But nobody's claiming this to be a real-life map. This is a Cities Skylines vanilla base game style map. So, yeah, okay. I'm okay with it. The bridge again, the ramping could be a little smoother. Doesn't even need to be that high because we've got no shipping coming down this way, and even if we did, it wouldn't be high enough. And then we've got a bit of bumps coming down here. Also, we have rail under road where it's the rail that is changing elevation rather than the road. So again, a little bit down and up with the rail, but vanilla base game rules, does it matter that much? It might do. Then we have some sidings here. Again, quite neatly done. Bit of a tight turn at the top, but again, if you just got the locomotive going around, I guess that would make some kind of sense. You know, getting it to turn about, and a locomotive that won't go backwards. These things happen. And then we'll just head off towards the edge of the map. So yes, we'll come back and do the shipping and the water flow. I'll show you some of these interesting detailed areas as well, the bits that caught my eye. And then after all of this is done, you're going to go and watch my Let's Play Part 2. Because I built a bit of highway. I'm very proud of it. My first city build in ages. Please go and watch me. Okay, edge of the map. It's time for that intermission.
Do your bridges look like the game's AI has gone on holiday? Would you like vanilla bridges to be proud of? Then you need the beginner's guide to perfect bridges by BonBonB. Click the information button below.
And so back to Attemptarea by Demis and the shipping routes. Well, kind of like the two semicircles that we've got, but then we have a right angled junction here, which means there might be some shipping turning right angled off this way, depending on where you put your harbours and stuff. There's probably going to be something making an odd turn. So a little shipping triangle there would have been quite nice. Water flow, it's kind of a working river map, so we've got a wide enough river with strong enough water flow that's deep enough. So if you want to play vanilla base game pump and draw, you can do all of that on this as well. So, what about the map as a whole? Well, I'd say I kind of recognise it from somewhere, but I couldn't tell you where. It looks very nice. We've got a few islands. Got this big lump of land on the edge of the map there, which nobody's going to build on, obviously. These follow some sort of sensible shape as well. And then they even almost kind of link up the land, which means we could bridge that and then do something on these islands, and it would look quite sensible. In fact, you can make the whole thing a harbour. Could make that as a closed off harbour. But if you do that, do we have shipping connections? The answer is, me could choose the shipping tab. There we go. No, not really. So, a scenic harbour. Yeah, for detailing, but we're playing 100% vanilla. Yeah, it's not really a harbour area. Ignore the harbour idea. It was just a thought. Do like a thought. Right, okay, let's have a little look. Plenty of buildable space. Look at in the middle of the map, plenty of buildable space. In fact, in terms of, it is slightly hilly in places, but on the whole, it's buildably hilly. You know what I mean by that? I mean, it's not going to look completely dumb the way your buildings are jutting out of the landscape. Then, if we head over this way into the hills, let's have a look actually deep in the hills. Again, this is out the 25 tiles, but let's have a look. As there's been work done here anyway. My favourite castle on the map is this one. I think that's quite more of a stately home than a castle. I quite like that. I like the gate at the front as well there, which is pretty neat. I'm not sure what we got here. Maybe the start of the Great Wall of Attemptarea. Yeah, we don't know what we're defending, but we do have one over here as well, which is very clearly part of some sort of castle build from yesteryear, which I like that. Again, completely defensible. I mean, you're going to starve to death because where are you going to get your food and water from? Now, this is a bit I really like. This trench here, this ditch, obviously modern defense is going on here, and whoever is attacking from our left, going up the hill, which makes sense. We've got defensive positions here, and then as we go around to the end of the ditch, we've got another one there, and another one all the way over here as well. I like that. That tells some kind of story. You can see where the so-called invaders, assuming the Axis powers, would have invaded from probably up this way, up the middle of the map there. Yeah. And I don't know what they're attacking up here that needed defending, but I think as a defensive point, that is a pretty good location for a modern warfare kind of thing. I like it. Another nice little castle here. Quite like this one too. Like the location of it, and I also like the cemetery just down here out of the way as well. Another nice looking castle here. Another good one. Again, this is all basic vanilla detailing, but done to a strong standard, which is good to see. More over here, we've got some more defences along here, which, I don't know, maybe there was a port there at one point. And then another castle area right down here, which is very neatly done indeed too. Right, any more? Oh, the Essential Lighthouse, we need to check that off for BonBonBingo. Ah, isn't she lovely? I've seen better, but that's not a bad effort. Some felled trees there as well, which again, just nice to be spotted. Little clump of pretty trees here with a henge in the middle. Sort of a henge, more standing stones and hengey, isn't it? But still, very neat, very nice. Keeping the map looking busy and interesting. Now, as it's Saturday, we'll have a quirky asset of the day. But I thought, rather than have a quirky asset of the day, how about... what we haven't had for a while is a vehicle. Right, now this is a prop version of the vehicle. I use a mod that converts vehicles. So they're small. I'm staying low so we can find it. And then we're right up on, rather than zoom all the way out. Oh, there it is. Hello. It's the Ford Crown by jaksch. Jaksch. Yes, we've not seen the vehicle for a while. So this in-game will work as a vehicle. But I'm using it here as a prop because it won't move about and I can actually see it and such. And we'll pull back and get a bigger view in a minute. There we go. Factoids, because factoids. Given that there's only 98 days till Christmas, let's have a seasonal one. December the 25th was not celebrated as the birthday of Jesus Christ until AD 440. There you go. Oh, that looks a bit big. Let me come down to... this is the Ford Crown Thicc by jaksch. That's a slightly oversized car. It still does work as a vehicle in game though. The asset of the day. Why not, eh? Why not? The Ford Crown Thicc. Oh, brilliant. Thanks for that, Demis. Demis? No, it was jaksch, wasn't it? Thanks for the map, Demis. All the guys really like it. They like it so much they want to vote on it by clicking the link in the top right hand corner of the screen or the link in the description. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Only you can decide. We use it at the end of the month for the viewer's choice top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. I got that completely butchered, didn't I? It sounded wrong coming out of my mouth. It's so wrong. I'll stick to the script in future. Right, what do I think of today's map? Well, for 100% vanilla, I like the shape of it. I like the design of it. I think, yeah, using the custom theme that makes it pop that little bit. It feels like a 4-star map. I don't feel I can go higher than low 4, though. It doesn't really grab my attention that much. But it's still strong. So 4 stars, low end. Detailing, there's not really much wrong with it. 1 or 2 grumbly bits, and a lot of extra bits put in to keep the eye busy. Again, I like it. I've got to go 4 stars. I think we can go slightly higher than low 4. Let's go middly low 4 for detail. Gameplay. I was thinking 5 stars all in for this because it looks really good. Definitely very playable. Then I remembered we were a little bit light on the resources for those of you that want to play the resource games. So I'm going to go for a medium-high 4 stars, just because of that. Attemptarea by Demis. That is very lush. And do you know what? Very rare. The seal of approval for a My First Map vanilla. Feels good, but I still have the feeling I've seen that before. Not suggesting it's been copied, but if anybody's got any inspiration from where I think I'm seeing this one before, please let me know because it's driving me nuts. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. If you can find the time, use the words of the day in the comments to score yourself some population points just for fun to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. And I'll be back tomorrow with the chart show and part 2 of the 15,000 Q&A. Join me then.